Hello everybody, this is Craig's girlfriend. I wanted to come on here and give you guys some updates. I have a clip that I'm going to play in this video for you guys, and it is Craig explaining to you guys what's going on right now. I first wanted to apologize for not updating you guys after that live that we did where I tried to video call with Craig. It's been very stressful times for myself, and Craig has also been under a lot of stress as well. So it's just been pretty chaotic right now. So whenever I did that live with you guys, and I called the jail to ask them what the reasoning was that Craig was not able to show up to his video visit with me. They told me that the reason he didn't show up was because they were having technical difficulties, issues with their system, their chirp system where they text and call and video call and stuff. But come to find out, that's not at all the case, and he was indeed in segregation. He had gone, I believe, about 3 or 4 days without contacting me, and during that time, he was in segregation. So I, of course, I kind of figured that was the case and that they were not being honest about the reasoning he didn't make his visit. So I'm sorry, you guys, that we didn't schedule another live for a visit with him. Like I said, it's been pretty chaotic, stressful times for I and for him as well. So with all of that being said, I will go on ahead and play this voice message to you guys from Craig, and at the end of it I will be adding in a little bit more information and details. So I'll go ahead and play this clip for you guys.
Hello, everybody. This is Craig Henry reporting from the Sullivan County Jail. Today, this update is going to be a little bit different from usual. As you know, I've been in the Vermilion County Jail prior to just now, and the air conditioner went out, so they emptied out that jail and they moved us to Sullivan County. For everybody who's been following my channel for a long time, you know that I also have criminal charges out of Sullivan County as a result of one of the videos that is on my YouTube channel. When I'm out, I'll go into a little bit more detail about that. But as of right now, I want to communicate to everybody that I have been moved into a lockdown cell. The only reason I still have this chirp is because, or this phone, the ability to make phone calls, is because it's a requisite of Indiana regulations. But as of right now, I've been moved into this segregation cell, you could say. And, before I was moved into the segregation cell, I was brought into a room and I was handcuffed in this extremely weird manner where my wrists are all bruised up from it. And they read these charges to me, these in-house jail rule violations to me that I'm being accused of. And basically they said, well, look, you can sign this and you get 30 days in lockdown and 37 days of your privileges taken, or we can have a conduct adjustment board hearing in which, it's jail staff, sheriff's department staff deciding whether you violated the jail rules, or the jail staff say you violated. So every time you go to one of these hearings, you get found guilty. There's no beating it at all. And so anyways, after today, I will be unable to communicate with anybody, with Erica or with any of my friends or family. And so I thought it was important to get this update out to you very soon. I have a written report, but of course this is nullified now that I've been in the lockdown. So I wanted to give everybody that update. And we are going to get the videos of what happened to me. And of course, as they're bringing me into the segregation cell, one of the guys had me handcuffed, and he says to me, "You're a bitch," and he pushes me. So anyways, I want to impress upon everybody that I am not here on the Sullivan County charges yet. I'm still being held here for Vermilion County. It's just that Vermilion County's AC went out, so they had to move everybody out because it's boiling here in Indiana, or it was at the time. So they've moved everybody out to a climate-controlled jail for the time being. So I'm gonna jump into my written report, and then maybe I'll comment on a few other things that have been happening. So the state has announced that they are going to be releasing me from the Vermilion County Jail on June 30th, which is, as of this recording, 4 days away, probably 3 days away by the time you all hear this update. However, this is only a hollow promise, as the state of Indiana will move me to 2 other jails after this, where I will be held for ransom. The first jail is Greene County, which, of course, this is backwards now. I'm in Sullivan County first. This was unexpected. In Greene County, though, my ransom is $1,000, and this will be paid by my friend Jeff Pettyjohn, and he has my thanks and that of my family's. After they let me out of Greene County, I will be transported by agents of the state to Sullivan County, where the ransom is currently $12,000 cash, no 10%, no surety, nothing, just $12,000 cash. After 9 consecutive months in captivity, it is impossible for me to satisfy the state's ransom demands by myself. So I'm calling on all liberty lovers to aid me in this time of need. Please donate any funds you can via PayPal and Cashapp. The links for that are in the description, and my information for both should be on the screen. Unfortunately, unlike most kidnappers, the state does not accept the ransom and release their prisoner forever. They will try to convince 6 people, the jury, that they select, to convict me of crimes for exercising my natural right to speak freely. 6 people, because a 6-person jury is what you get in Indiana on a level 6 felony charge. I will, of course, be fighting for justice by contesting the charges at a trial. But after 9 months of living in a cage, away from my beautiful girlfriend and our 2 wonderful children, nothing would mean more to me than an opportunity to be with them prior to risking my freedom in an upcoming jury trial. All help from $1 on up would be greatly appreciated. How many years of my life is the state attempting to take from me, you may ask? In Sullivan County, the state wants 2.5 years. In Greene County, they want 18 months altogether between 2 different cause numbers. So I'll be risking 4 years of my freedom by going to trials in these counties. However, the alternative is to lie under oath of honesty and attest that I committed crimes which I did not commit. The alternative would be to co-sign the state's allegations, while simultaneously consenting to their acts of kidnapping, confinement, control, lying, and bullying, which they commit every day. A long time ago, Patrick Henry asked a generation of men this question: is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? It's far past time for the present generation of men to answer the same question. This channel's purpose is to more or less make people aware that a problem exists in our society. Today, that problem being a group of men and women that call themselves government, and those people's tendency to employ violence, deception, and theft against peaceful individuals. The government is showing by their actions against me and my channel that they cannot afford to allow such truths to be spoken against them. With your support, we will continue this fight against the criminal gang that call themselves the government. And that concludes my report. So anyways, I want to get back to this Sullivan County thing, because I can't stress enough that after today, my communication will be prohibited, and I will be stuck in this cage that I'm sitting in now prior to a hearing for God knows how long unless I'm bonded out. And again, that bond is $12,000. We've raised a few thousand already. So if we can get help, I'm not sure where we are as far as money raised right now, but it's certainly somewhere on the order of $10,000 off. So any donations are acceptable. But I want to stress also right now that upon my release from Sullivan County, they will be receiving a lawsuit. So for anybody that's been following the channel, Vermilion County, Indiana, which is the jail I was at immediately prior to this, has already had a lawsuit filed against them by myself for violating due process rights with regards to in-jail conduct violations. Right? So they're saying, when they say that you violate the rules, they hold conduct hearings, conduct adjustment boards, and that's kind of a form of due process that's afforded to inmates in Indiana. But Vermilion County proceeded to lock me up in isolation for 14 days or somewhere on that order, and they put me on cell lockdown for 3 days without any hearing. They just said, we're going to punish you because we want to. And essentially, Sullivan has done the same thing. And I knew they would do it too. You know that all of these jails in Indiana, they don't know the law because they're the government. They don't need to follow the law. Right? We're made to follow the law. They're made to violate it. So anyway, Sullivan's locked me down in this cell pre-hearing, pre any due process, which is afforded to Indiana inmates. And they do this stuff, and I told them, I said, you guys are violating my rights by doing this. They said, well, thank you, sir, as if they were proud to hear that, as I'm sitting here handcuffed and getting beat up by them and pushed around. But and that's why they're going to be receiving a lawsuit. So I can assure everybody of that. I've already filed one. It won't be very difficult for me to file another one, and that's exactly what's going to be happening. But filing a lawsuit from jail is exceptionally harder than filing one from out of jail. You've got to write grievances, and they've got to be denied, and you've got to file an appeal grievance, and they got to be denied. It's just much better to get out and just file the lawsuit, right? So that's what I intend to do when I get out of here. And with that being said, I don't really have much more to say. I'm going to spend the rest of the money that I have on this phone talking to my girlfriend and my kids. But like I said, all support is appreciated. Thank you all for listening to this report. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be somewhere around the time of June 30th, which is my release date in Vermilion County. So if we can get that money raised for a bond, you might see me out of jail as soon as June 30th. And I hope that that's the case, because I'm really getting sick of these jail cells and these jail staff that just want to push you around if you don't bow down to them. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Alright guys, now that I have played that clip for you, I just wanted to add a few other things. Me and him made that clip yesterday, early on in the day, and we had been talking all day long yesterday. He's been constantly he called me multiple times throughout the day yesterday, and towards the end of the night, we were in the middle of a phone call, and I could hear people in the background. I didn't know what was going on or anything like that. I just know that he told me that he had to get off the phone and that he would call me right back, and he got off the phone pretty quickly, and he never ended up calling me back, and he's supposed to have his chirp until about 2:30 today, and currently it is 1:10. So I've not heard anything back from him since pretty late last night, and he was supposed to contact me. So I'm not sure what has happened. I just know that I am very worried about him staying in Sullivan County. He hasn't even been there for a week, and they're already treating him like garbage. And they have left marks and bruises on him already. Craig had his bunkmate that he's with in segregation explain to me what exactly happened, what they did to him, and I know that once Craig gets out, he is going to request that video footage. I definitely think that he needs to get out of Sullivan County as soon as possible, because I just don't think it's going to end well for him. And for all of us, because we all miss him very much, and we are really excited for him to be home. I know that our son has been very excited to see him. He misses him so much, and so do I. I'm also very excited, and we are very grateful to this community for everything that you guys have already done for us. And it would mean so much to our son and I and Craig for all of the help that you guys can show us, give us, to get him out of Sullivan County. I'm very worried that if he doesn't get out soon, that it's not going to end up well for any of us, honestly. So anything helps. A like, a comment, a share, anything counts. $1, it all is very appreciated, and we're very grateful for everything that you guys have done to show your support for Craig. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you all for watching. Bye.